The Vedic Age. Who were the Indo-Aryans? The story of Hinduism's evolution is deeply intertwined with the arrival and settlement of the Indo-Aryans in the Indian subcontinent. But who exactly were these people, and how did they shape the religious and social foundations of ancient India? To understand this, we must explore their origins, their way of life, and the profound cultural legacy they left behind. Origins and migration, tracing the Indo-Aryan journey. The term Indo-Aryan refers to a branch of the larger Indo-European language family, which includes languages like Sanskrit, Latin, Greek, and Persian. The most widely supported theory, based on linguistic, archaeological, and genetic evidence, suggests that the Indo-Aryans originated in the Pontic-Caspian steppe, modern-day Ukraine and southern Russia. Around 2000 to 1500 BCE, they began migrating in waves, some moving into Iran, becoming the Indo-Iranians, while others entered the Indian subcontinent through the Hindu-Kush passes. This migration was not a sudden invasion but a gradual process of movement and settlement. Archaeological cultures, such as the Gandhara grave culture, 1600–500 BCE, and the cemetery age culture, provide evidence of their presence in northwestern India. These groups were pastoral nomads, relying heavily on cattle and horses, which played a crucial role in their economy and warfare. The Rig Veda, a glimpse into early Vedic life. The Rig Veda, composed between 1500 to 1200 BCE, is the oldest surviving text of the Indo-Aryans and one of the oldest religious scriptures in the world. It consists of 1028 hymns dedicated to various deities, composed in Vedic Sanskrit. But beyond its religious significance, the Rig Veda offers a window into their society, economy, and worldview. Religion and deities. The early Vedic religion was polytheistic, with gods representing natural forces. Indra, the warrior god of thunder and rain, celebrated for slaying the serpent Vritra to release the waters. Agni, the god of fire, acting as the mediator between humans and gods. Varuna, the guardian of RTA, cosmic order, associated with moral law and the sky. Soma, a sacred ritual drink, possibly made from a hallucinogenic plant used in sacrifices. Rituals like the yajna, fire sacrifice, were central to their worship. Priests chanted hymns while offerings, ghee, grains, and soma were poured into the sacred fire to invoke divine favor, society, and economy. The early Indo-Aryans were semi-nomadic pastoralists, with cattle being their primary measure of wealth. The Rigveda frequently mentions cattle raids, and the word for war, gavisti, literally means search for cows. Over time, they transitioned to agriculture, settling in villages, grama, and later towns, nagara. The introduction of the iron plough in the later Vedic period, 1600 BCE, allowed them to cultivate the dense forests of the Gangetic Plains, leading to more permanent settlements. The Varna system, the roots of social hierarchy. One of the most enduring and controversial legacies of the Vedic age was the Varna system, first mentioned in the Purusha Sukta, Rigveda 10.90. This hymn describes society as divided into four broad categories. 1. Brahmins, priests, scholars. 2. Kshatriyas, warriors, rulers. 3. Vaishyas, farmers, merchants. 4. Shudras, servants, laborers. Initially, this system was flexible and based on occupation, but over centuries it became hereditary, evolving into the caste, jati, system. Interestingly, a similar threefold division appears in the Avesta, the sacred text of Zoroastrianism, suggesting a shared Indo-Iranian heritage. The later Vedic period, expansion and transformation. By 1000 BCE, the Indo-Aryans had expanded eastward into the Gangetic Plains, leading to significant cultural and political changes. New texts, the Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharvaveda, were composed, expanding ritual knowledge. Political shifts, tribal chiefdoms, yajnas, gave way to larger kingdoms, janapadas like Kuru and Panchala. Complex rituals, elaborate sacrifices like the Ashvamedha, horse sacrifice, and Rajasuya, royal consecration, emerged, reinforcing the authority of kings. This period also saw the beginnings of philosophical thought in the Upanishads, which questioned the ritualistic focus of the Vedas and sought deeper spiritual truths, a transition we will explore in the next episode. The Indo-Aryan legacy, foundations of Hinduism. The Indo-Aryans did not just bring a new language or religion, they laid the cultural and intellectual groundwork for what would become Hinduism. Their hymns became the Vedas, their rituals evolved into classical Hindu practices, and their social structures influenced Indian society for millennia. Yet their story is not one of isolation. As they interacted with indigenous cultures, a syncretic civilization emerged, blending Vedic traditions with local beliefs. This fusion would later give rise to Buddhism, Jainism, and classical Hinduism. In our next episode, we will delve into the Upanishads, where ancient sages began asking profound questions about the self, the universe, and the nature of reality. The journey from ritual to philosophy marks one of the most fascinating evolutions in human thought, and it all began here, in the Vedic age. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. If you have thoughts or questions, share them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the history of Hinduism.